When I started investing in unit trusts, it was a bit confusing in the beginning. Why? Because there are different types of funds. You get income funds, you get gilt-edged funds, you get money market funds, you get growth funds, and if you're a complete beginner, this can be a bit confusing. That's what this video is all about. By the end of this video, you're going to learn all the different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka. Now, before jumping into the content, this video is sponsored by Capital Alliance Limited, one of the leading investment banks in Sri Lanka. CAL offers so many investment opportunities for individuals like you and me, as well as for corporate and institutional investors. And also they have a range of unit trust funds, and I invest with them on a monthly basis. So if you want to learn how you can get started with CAL, make sure to watch this video till the end. Now, this is the second video of this series. In the first video, I shared what a unit trust is and how you can get started. If you have not watched that video yet, make sure to click the YouTube card above, or else I'll add the link in the description below. Right, now let's learn the different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka. Right, so if you take all the unit trust funds that are available in Sri Lanka, you can divide them into two broad categories. First, we have open-ended funds, and on this side we have closed-ended funds. Let's learn what open-ended funds are. In an open-ended fund, an investor can enter the fund and exit the fund whenever they want. That means you can invest your money and you can withdraw your money whenever you want. There's no restriction when it comes to the number of units that the fund can issue, and also there is no maturity date. So these funds can go on forever. Most of the funds that are available in Sri Lanka falls under open-ended funds. Then we have closed-ended funds. The significance of closed-ended funds is that they have a maturity date. You cannot enter and exit whenever you want. For a specific period of a time, the fund will be open for investors to invest their money, and once that period is passed, they will close the fund and they will no longer accept new investors until the maturity date. Those are called closed-ended funds. Right, so those are the two broad categories when it comes to unit trust funds in Sri Lanka. You have closed-ended funds and you have open-ended funds. Next, let's learn the different fund types that comes under those two broad categories. First, we have income funds. These funds invest in fixed income securities that provides a higher return. Usually, these assets can be bank deposits, corporate debt instruments, as well as government securities. The objective of income funds is to provide a higher return, and usually these funds invest in both short-term as well as long-term securities. Next, we have growth funds. These funds invest in the equity market, also known as the stock market. The objective of growth funds is to provide a higher return over a medium and a long-term horizon. But keep in mind that these funds are also considered to be higher in risk. Why? Because they invest in the stock market, and the stock market is a very volatile place. So these funds are considered as high risky, and that's what growth funds are. Next, we have gilt-edged funds. These funds only invest in government securities like treasury bills as well as treasury bonds. Now, if you are looking for a fund that has a low risk, gilt-edged funds are great. Why? Because the return is backed by the government. But keep in mind that when you are comparing the return with other funds, the return in gilt-edged funds tend to be lower. Next, we have money market funds. Money market funds invest in short-term fixed income instruments like bank deposits, treasury bills, commercial paper, as well as repo agreements. Now, if you have excess cash that you want to park and get a higher return for high liquidity, money market funds are great. Keep in mind that money market funds only invest in short-term fixed income instruments that matures within 12 months. That's why these funds are considered as high liquidity funds. Next, we have index funds. Index funds also invest in the stock market. As an example, imagine that there is a fund that invests in S&P SL20 index. If there are 20 companies in this index, the fund will invest in all 20 companies based on the proportion that they represent in the fund. So if the index goes up by 20%, along with that the fund will also go up by 20%, and if the index goes down by 10%, the fund will also go down by 10%. Basically, the fund replicates an index. That's what an index fund is. Then we have sector funds. Sector funds also invest in the stock market or the Colombo Stock Exchange, but in this case, they invest in a particular sector. As an example, let's say that there is a fund that invests in the banking sector of Sri Lanka. So the fund will invest in different companies that fall under this sector, but keep in mind that they don't have to necessarily invest in all the companies that fall under that sector. So that's what a sector fund is. Right, so those are all the different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka. Now, if you want to get a list of the available funds, so the funds that are offered by different companies under each category or under each type, make sure to check out the Unit Trust Association of Sri Lanka website. They maintain a list of all the fund types that are available, and they have categorized based on the different types that we discussed. I'll add the link in the description below. Right, now if you're thinking, Nishan, I want to get started immediately investing in units, make sure to check out CAL website. They have a range of unit trust funds and I invest with them on a monthly basis. And the beauty of CAL is you can sign up for an account completely online and you can get started immediately. So make sure to check out the CAL website and sign up for an account at the CAL portal. I'll also add the link in the description below. Right, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a good understanding about the different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka. Go ahead and get started investing, and until my next video, happy investing.